Dinosaurs Podcast.
Hello. My awkward hellos.
That is her signature hello.
Hello. Yes. This is episode 59. And I am your host today. And this is the girlies. This is
Melissa.
Michelle.
And
Huh?
Anna.
Oh. Are we having a low voice competition now?
I don't know. Anna. That's what you needed for that game.
No, it was supposed to be higher.
Anna.
I can't do it.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, today's my episode, and so I know we talked about this before for the previous episodes, but I'm gonna be talking about the menstrual cycle, but more of the, what do you call it, medical termination-ish? What do you say?
Medical terminology?
Medical terminology of how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and my creative self, y'all can't see it, but I did a little diagram because this diagram was able to help me how to figure this out.
I'll add it up here
Okay.
somewhere.
So,
A lot of girls don't know it. Like, I don't know it. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know.
We're not taught this in school.
because I think technically there are.
Ovulation is that long?
It really is
Yes,
not.
but
or it's
it-
not.
like it is that long, but you only have like 2 days to where you can fertilize the egg.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
very.
Yeah.
You can get to it when you can. Sorry, I
Yeah,
just
it's
freaked
very.
Yeah, see?
there's a little window.
Very small.
Okay, so what you guys think? What the menstrual cycle is?
It is the shedding of the lining of your uterus because there is no fertile egg to make a baby.
I didn't know you were asking us the question. I thought you were just
The
saying
audience,
it. Yeah.
the listeners.
It's just tell them look there. So I was looking at this website called Next Cycle. They also have an app to help you track your cycle. I don't have it because Team Samsung has a health app that automatically you can use to help you
Track it.
track your menstrual cycle.
We do too.
And I think we do
yes,
too,
we
yeah.
do.
So we
Yeah,
do
I don't know if you guys did.
Yes,
so.
we do.
Yeah,
so,
I think it's like My Health, I think it's called.
yeah.
It's in their
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at her tombstones on.
Because I'm the only one out of the girls, okay? Except for Anya, but she's not here right now. But because I've noticed on my on the menstrual portion, it will tell me what type of phase I'm on, and so I didn't know that the menstrual cycle has phases.
This is if you are like completely regular.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you're irregular like my PCL
Yeah.
as girlies, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the definition that they have for a menstrual cycle or a uterine cycle is monthly process a woman's body go through to prepare for pregnancy. So an average cycle time is from 21 to 35 days, and then what's considered a normal cycle is about 28 days. So it's about like 4 weeks. So for a month, I would say.
28 days?
Yeah, for
Oh, okay.
an average normal.
Yeah, average.
Oh, then mine does fit outside the irregular because I've been counting mine. Mine is 35.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it just depends. So
Oh, that just means you're on the outer range.
back onto the period ages. Average age for them to start their menstrual cycle is 12 to 13, but it differs per individual. So it also depends on their nutrition, their health, their genetics, or environmental factors. They do encourage if the female individual does not have their period by the age of 16 to consult with the doctor, because that may be something may be happening.
Oh, if I chime in, I heard that also if they get it earlier before 12 or 13, they should also go get checked too because it might be their thyroid.
Yeah, that would too. Yeah. So, and then back into the to the phases. There are a total of 4 cycles technically.
Phases, you mean?
Phases, yeah. So, for the first phase, which phase did y'all would think would have been your first? What would have been the first phase of the cycle?
I don't
Without
even-
looking at the diagram.
Well, I don't even know what the phases are called. So can you say?
Yeah, what are the phases
Okay,
called?
Just tell us what they're called
Okay.
and we'll guess.
Okay, well, before the scientific term, I think it starts when my boobs start getting tender.
Your body
Yeah.
starts being weird.
when when I'm hormonal, I'm starting to cry a lot. My boobs hurt, and I can't fit anything.
Oh, because you're bloated.
Yeah, me is for when I'm bloated and I notice that my appetite is more ravaging.
Yeah, or
So-
like I'm constantly needing something sweet for me.
Okay.
Either something sweet or something really spicy, like hot Cheetos.
Yeah, hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. How about Anna?
I would say the same because remember I was saying I'm expecting my period soon.
Yeah.
So I hope I get it after this.
Mm.
Because I am in the stage right now where you guys are talking about I'm craving a lot of stuff. Like I got me some Takis.
Okay.
Yeah. See.
And I used still some tahini from you because I got the cucumbers at home, but I don't have any tahini, so I'm gonna steal some.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, well, there are 4 phases for the cycle. There is the follicular phase, there's the menstrual phase, the ovulation phase, and the luteal. I'm gonna say luteal phase. So actually, your cycle actually starts with the menstruation phase.
When you actually bleed.
When you bleed is the very
Oh.
first phase.
Okay, what's considered bleeding? Is that when you're spotting the brownness that comes out, or is it when you are full on bleeding?
From what I've seen was I think is when you actually start to spot.
It's called breakthrough bleeding, and that's basically when you first spot the first like brown drop of your period.
Okay, because
Yeah.
And that's day
recently.
one.
That's day one.
That's day
Okay,
one.
because I'm like recently mine has been crazy, and sometimes it will be doing that for like days.
For spotting.
Yes, and then it will finally come on
Flow.
full on. And then like from the whole day, from like spotting to it completely disappearing, where I'm not wiping and it's not brown no more. It would be like longer than what's normal compared to for me. It'd be like maybe like 2 weeks, and I'm like,
Considered irregular
That's
too.
considered.
yeah.
okay, because
that's
I'm like,
considered
I don't know what's happening. That's never happened before. I'm guessing I'm just really, really stressed, and that's why it's doing it right now. Okay, just wondering if
yeah.
that's considered a whole cycle. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, so as long as you spot day one.
Yeah, usually
Okay.
day one is when you start when you spot.
okay,
So usually, typically, your menstrual phase is 1 to 7 days. The first 1 to 7 days, but the thing is that the menstrual phase is also part of the follicular phase. So it's the first half, basically the first 1/4 of the phase.
So they overlap?
Yeah, so they overlap. So the follicular phase is approximately like 16 days long.
Okay.
And then so like the first few days, the first fourth is your menstrual phase. So in this one, that's for the menstrual phase. That is the bleeding process, which is when the uterine lining is shedding off the uterus. And so that when that happens, your basal body temp is lower during this phase. An increase of luteinizing hormones, which is the fluid that helps drop the egg, right before your ovulation. Your your basal body temperature, the BPT, lowest resting temp, is at its lowest resting temp, and it can be measured in the morning with a special thermometer.
I've heard people use that for fertility.
Yes.
Yes.
When they're trying to figure out, like when their temperature goes up.
Yeah, and so during this phase, hormones are released, which triggers the growth of follicles in the ovaries.
Sorry, I just had a realization. I have PCOS, so I'm stuck in there. So I just keep creating more and more follicles.
Yeah.
I'm stuck there.
And so during this also, that's when a surge of sex hormones, your estrogens, they start to rise. And then it stops. Once they start to rise, or wait, hold up.
That's when you like out of nowhere feel horny.
Yeah.
It's your because it's your ovulation.
So your
Yes, your
estrogens,
gonna ovulate.
they come out, and so men also have estrogen too, but just not as much as females do.
Yeah.
So
Just like how
Just like how we
I
have
have
testosterone.
high levels of testosterone in me.
Yeah, we
I'm a
have what's
man.
called androgen.
yeah, and so
Yeah.
with the rise of estrogen, this also stops the production of the follicles, allowing them to mature. So one follicle eventually becomes dominant, and it releases an egg cell. So for the men out there, this is the feel good phase, okay? This is with the rise of estrogen. So this is where the girl feels most energized, sociable, clear-minded, and happy. So this is all the happy, positive emotions that are happening during this follicular phase.
Follicular phase.
So this was after the menstrual phase, because technically, I feel like the menstrual phase, you're still recovering from the previous phase,
Okay.
which is the last phase. But anyway, so during this phase, during the follicular phase, serotonin is increased, and which equals that it makes progress on work and school projects, energy boosts, more interested in exercise and physical activity. So they're more energized to do all that stuff during this phase. So this is your happy phase where you feel pretty and you want to go out and do stuff.
I'm thinking, okay, so you said the menstrual phase and the follicular phase kind of happened at the same time, but
Yes.
menstrual phase is earlier.
Yes.
So I'm thinking of, so when my brown comes out for the very first time, to where I'm the heaviest when I'm flowing. That's the menstrual stage. And then when I'm stopped being so heavy
When you're
and dying out,
once your
that's
menstrual
when the
phase is done, yeah.
that's when the follicular phase is starting. Is that what you're saying?
You're still in the phase. It's just that during the menstrual, you're still feeling the last phase because of what's happening.
They overlap by this.
Right.
By this.
Okay. So
So
for-
what's considered menstruating phase? That's why I'm confused.
is that
The-
when you're
okay.
actively bleeding?
Is that
It's when you're actively bleeding, and then
like
once you
at
stop.
your heaviest, right? Or is that when I am completely done with bleeding?
Menstrual is when you're completely done with bleeding, because that's when.
Oh.
Oh, see, okay.
Yeah, that's why I said they kind of play. The way they said it is that it's kind of together, but menstrual is only just maybe like I said, the first fourth. So like once, because some people still have the estrogen levels, because like you said, when you're on your period, sometimes you're horny, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's also that's what they say. It's considered the follicular phase, because you're still.
Yeah, because when that happens to me, I'm towards the end
Yeah.
of bleeding. So
Towards
that's
the
what
end.
that's what I'm guessing when the follicular phase is
I
going.
guess you could say
after.
when it starts to rise.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
Okay.
once your menstruation phase starts, that's when the follicular phase also starts. But it's prioritizing your menstrual first.
Okay.
To get it all out.
To get it all
prepare
out.
for
Just
the new layer.
the new,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, so that, like I said, for men, that's when you know she's ready to mingle and ready to have some shoo.
Make some babies.
Regardless, honestly.
What'd you say, shoo shoo?
Snoo snoo. It's a Futurama reference.
Oh, I don't watch Futurama.
Okay, well, hang on. Futurama reference here. It's an episode where I forgot what the main guy's name is.
Isn't it like
Fry?
Fry.
I don't know. But the main guy, they're on this planet in space where it's like filled with Amazonian aliens. And when you're guilty, when you're guilty of something, the sentence is death. But the way you die is death by snoo snoo, which is sex.
Oh, that's scary.
Oh.
So you're looking at these big Amazonian women who will sex you to death.
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so when you hear somebody reference snoo snoo, they're talking about sex.
Oh.
And that references to that episode.
Gotcha.
That's
I didn't know
a
that.
Because
violent way to die.
you kind of, yeah, because Fry was like kind of happy in a way.
It was like
Because
take
duh.
me.
But yeah, okay. So continuing on the follicular phase. Oh my god, I'm gonna be talking about the cervical mucus. I don't know if you guys would know about that, about the wetness down there. So during this follicular phase,
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because TMI, I get a Brazilian, so when you do that, you are already moist because you don't have any hair down there.
Yeah.
So you're moist half the time.
yeah. So
TMI.
usually after your period, after the menstrual cycle, usually there is like little to no cervical mucus, so it should be like dry down there after your period. But
Yeah.
like a few days
Oh,
after,
okay.
like the dry texture then become. If you like leak down there, it would be during the follicular phase. It starts to be like a little creamier looking. If you guys seek any like residue down there, and so it gets creamier and a little whiter during this, so it can prepare for the next phase.
Yeah.
So
What do you mean by creamier? Like,
so they
Like
compare
bu-
it to like an
like-
egg yolk. So if it's like
yeah.
so if it's kind of like a little bit cooked a little, but still
Cooked.
kind of raw,
Well, are you talking about? Because I know that when they talk about the discharge,
Yeah.
the white clear egg yolk is when you're fertile.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is it's like
That's
so
what
like
you
right
said,
now
it's
it's
cooked,
becoming
and it turns white.
it's like the raw egg yolk is what they're trying to say right now.
Okay.
Or just the
I wouldn't
raw-
say
no,
the,
the
not
yolk,
the egg,
the
not the
white.
yolk, but the white.
The white.
the white parts.
My bad.
You know
The
how
white.
it's sticky.
Yes.
So
Yes,
that's
yes,
where
yes.
it's kind of
Clear.
starting to feel like or start
Okay.
to look like whenever you have it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that ends for the follicular phase. And so that goes straight to the ovulation phase. So the ovulation phase is the release of a mature female egg from an ovary, which is between the 12 to 15 days of the cycle. So the follicular phase and menstrual phase, that's from the 1 to 12 first few days of the cycle. And then menstrual phase is 3 to 7 days if we're calculating it completely with the normal 28 days of a regular cycle. So on the ovulation phase, that's the end of the follicular phase. And so this usually is 2 weeks, normally 2 weeks after the period. But it could vary depending on the individual. So they also mentioned about a hyperovulation, which is the release of multiple egg cells depending on your genetics, medical condition, fertility treatments. And so they said that happens often if you're coming off of hormonal birth control. They can also experience that as well.
So like twins, triplets, quadruplets.
Yeah. When they also have an
Sextuplets.
oh, that must hurt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, thank you.
They do
But-
surgery for that, babes.
Yeah, but they also have a thing called an ovulation. I'm gonna guess that's how you say it. That one.
In ovulation.
Oh, and ovulation.
An ovulation, which is meaning that you have no ovulation at all.
Like no egg came out.
That's me.
Oh.
like no egg like created or like no egg released.
Released.
Just no egg released at all.
I'm pretty sure that's me because
Yeah.
I have to release an egg to start my period, or I have to ovulate to start my period. Since I don't ovulate, then I don't think I drop an egg.
No.
No, yeah. So for ovulation, this is when
I'm learning, Mom.
egg cells can live up to 24 hours after being released, but if not fertilized, the egg cell dies and then the next phase begins. So again, men, during the ovulation phase, this is the feeling frisky phase. So during this phase, this is when the release of the luteinizing hormone, which is quote quote release the egg hormone. So this is when your woman feels happiness, and she feels the attractiveness, and she's sexual
Feeling
desirability, aka she's horny. Okay,
Yep.
like super horny. This is also when testosterones rise, so that improves their mood and their energy. And so so basically she has high sex drive and she wants to snoo with you. And then
I don't think I feel that anymore. I'm just
And then there are also fertile days, which is before predicted ovulation day, because usually ovulation is just a specific day or two for when the egg is ready to be fertilized. So they usually have like a few days before to kind of like prep the egg, So that's usually for your discharge and cervical mucus wise, that's usually when it's wet and slippery down there. And it's quote unquote
Almost
stretchy,
watery.
known as the egg white cervical mucus. So, and then that's also when it tends to leak out of your hoo-ha down there.
Your vagina.
Unintentionally, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I knew that I didn't ovulate, because I didn't have any discharge at all.
Oh.
Yeah, because usually when you're close to your ovulation or at your ovulation, that's usually when it's constantly wet down there.
Yeah, but like, did I start? Yeah, that's me. I'm like, oh my god. And I run to the bathroom. I'm like, oh, never mind.
But okay, you should still, I know it sounds gross, but you're going to wash your hands anyway. You should still feel it and see. So you can see, like, if you're fertile or if you're not.
Trust me, I do that.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this
Alright.
phase is when their like body is like ready to have children and stuff, and so that's usually when they're ready.
Yep.
And so after during that phase, that's usually the end of ovulation. And so and then the next phase is the last phase is the luteal phase. The luteal phase is probably the phase that we dislike the most, because this is basically the release of progesterone, right?
Yes, progesterone.
Progesterone, which is the last between 15 to 28 days of the end of your cycle.
Cause their boobs to hurt.
Yes, so this is where that makes the uterine lining thick. And so if the egg was fertilized, progesterone levels will stay steady to prevent the uterine contractions and shedding. But if it's not fertilized, the uterus lining sheds, leading back to the menstruation phase.
I knew it. I was stuck somewhere here. Not by ovulation, but I'm like stuck somewhere here in the follicular phase, because I take a hormone called Provera, and that's basically a form of progesterone, for 10 days. And then after that, I'll start my period 5 to 8 days after.
Yep. So, men, this is when they're feeling crappy. This is also known as the feeling crappy phase. This is, like I said, progesterone can initially improve sleep and lower anxiety, though. Quote, quote. This is probably why they're always sleepy during this phase.
Oh yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah, you're very tired, so most people suggest you to like have a specific day where you can rest and sleep. But which is hard.
Yeah, there's this TikTok University. She was saying how sleep schedule for men, because it's studied on men, not women. 8 hours is enough. Us women, we need at least 10 hours
10 to 12,
normally. And then when we're on our period, we have to have like an additional 1 to 2 hours more.
Yeah.
Because, man, we'd be out. I'm tired.
Because me being on birth control now, since I'm able to track my cycles, and I'm like, dang, in my luteal phase, I'm like hella tired. Like, I'll be so tired. I would not want to be doing anything.
Learning about this and hearing you talk about it is making me contract. I feel like I have what you call them, phantom cramps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this is also like when they start to bloat, the woman's body start to bloat. They get constipation, their fatigue, and then fluid
feel
retention.
fat and
My back
ugly.
hurts.
Yeah. This is also when they start to have increased cravings for junk food and less nutritional dietary habits. So this phase also has a premenstruation syndrome, also known as PMS. So during this PMS, this is when serotonin dips, in which it regulates the mood. So that's why we're moody as fuck during this phase.
And get out the fucking way.
They're moody as fuck, and then they'll be emotional, and they'll be crying over something dumb.
Yeah.
Like me and my turtle. Like, I'm telling you, I'm still upset about that turtle.
Oh my God.
This is also the rise of cortisol, which is a stress hormone. This can cause weight gain.
Cortisol.
Cortisol. This can cause weight gain, flushing, fatigue, and it can feel like an emotional roller coaster during this phase. This also means that during this phase, your libido changes, feelings of anxiety, sadness, depression, difficulty concentrating. All this is in this last phase. Also, there's a change in appetite. There's insomnia, cramping, increased acne, breast tenderness,
Oh my god.
and
yes.
headaches. Some symptoms can be mild and non-existent.
You sound like those commercials.
Yeah, some
Consult
can
with
be
your
mild
doctor.
and non-existent, but some could be significant and distressing.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure this woman over here can differentiate because she had some crazy.
Who?
You. Sorry, I'm pointing with my head.
Oh, what? Sorry, I disassociated on that part.
Oh, I just
Like
said
your pain
your
and stuff
your
that
symptoms
you-
can be very significant and distressing.
Oh, during my period?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just during
Oh,
the
yes.
PMS thing. Yeah.
Yes.
So they say ways to manage PMS is to make sleep a priority, focus
So
on
do.
balanced diet, and engage in low impact activity. So that is for that luteal phase. But back onto the cervical mucus. On the discharge, it says once ovulation is done, mucus goes back to the dry, sticky, no cervical mucus at all. So it should be starting to like kind of sticky, like slime ish, where it's like the dry, not like the wet slime, but like the dry slime.
It's more of like
how would you say it? To me, it just looks dry, but it's still like somewhat.
it's goopy,
sticky.
kind of not really cottage cheesy, but it's chunky is what
Yeah.
it is.
And then it'll start to be dry, and then it goes back to the menstrual cycle.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is the end of the cycle, and then a new cycle begins on the first day of your period. So it'll go back to day 1 on menstruation. So,
Yeah.
what are y'all's thoughts?
The joys of being a woman. Woo!
So that explains why you men that you may have 4 different women every month.
Yes, it's like we can't control it because it's hormonal. So it's something that we can't control.
As Rachel Green says, no uterus, no opinion.
Yep. No uterus, no
No
opinion.
opinion.
And that is right because men, you just have no idea what we go through, our bodies go through.
Especially in the luteal phase, it's basically 3/4 of the month.
And then just childbirth can kill you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You should worship us because we are the only ones.
Woman.
Yeah.
And y'all think that all this pain is nothing.
Compared to being kicked in the balls. It's like, really?
Well, I don't know about that because
I've seen people put the machine on them, and they were like, "You want to live a day in the life of a girl who has a period? Okay." And so she put it on her man, and then he's like in pain. She goes, "Now do the laundry. Now wash the dishes."
Now give a presentation at
Yeah.
your work.
And she's like, "I can't." And I was like, "Exactly."
yeah, work for 8 hours.
Yep. Work
With
for
it.
8 hours with those
Yeah.
constant cramps.
and don't forget the back pain too. We get back
back
pain,
pain
You get
too.
back pain.
and you feel like you're preggo because you're just sitting there holding your back.
Yeah, I believe every man on earth should try that machine.
I want to try it on like. Get it so we can do it.
Be like the ones that's like, I got this on Amazon, so I can just try it and just give it to my husband to try.
I kind of want to see how painful those are. Because a lot of girls are like, when they put it on, they're like, oh, this doesn't hurt at all. And I'm like, I kind of want to try it just to see.
Yeah. Like how accurate it is. Yeah.
Maybe we can do it for y'all to see.
Ooh, yeah. Do
That'd
like
be fun.
yeah.
Yeah, but that is my episode, just so y'all know about the menstrual cycle, because not many people do.
No, I don't know
Because
anything.
I just didn't know if y'all were, this was an eye opener for y'all, because
I just
No.
feel like every time we just learn more, more things that we didn't know.
Well, I mean, I had like kind of like a vague idea of it because I know whenever me and Chow were trying, and I would get off of my birth control, and I would give my body like a month to kind of re-regulate itself. I did follow this to find out when my for my most fertile days were to try and get pregnant.
How long did it take you guys to try?
How long did it take? Oh, let me see. For Rowan, not long. We were pregnant within 3 months.
Wow. But then you guys have to consistently do it though.
Yeah.
Because they said that like if you try it, the more times you try, as long as both people don't have any issues, then it'll increase and you should be able to get pregnant.
Yeah, because usually once I got off my birth control, I gave a month for my body to re-regulate, and then the next month, the second month, we would try, and sometime it would usually be a miss because maybe my cycle hasn't like fully regulated yet, and then usually like the third or fourth month is usually our months to get pregnant. Because I know with Rowan it took us 3 months. And then with Jensen, it took us about 4 to get him.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because like I knew, like I could feel, I know my body, so I felt and knew when I was fertile.
Oh.
Or like how long my fertile window was, because when we were trying for Jensen, I knew the exact date that we conceived, because that's how in tune I was with my body. And when was it? It was
Dang, so Inner Michelle was like, it's there.
yeah.
Is that how you knew? It's there.
Yeah, because it's kind of like if we don't have sex, basically have by this day, we lost our window, and we have to wait for the next month. So literally, I knew the day that I'm like 98% sure that's when we conceived Jensen, which was November 11th.
Jesus.
She knew because I was like, did you know because it was wet down there?
Yeah, it's basically like you are a slip and slide.
Yeah,
down
you
there
can feel
whenever
it.
you're
You can feel it
when
down
you're
there, like,
when you're
like
fertile.
wet. Like you think that you're on your period,
Yeah,
but really it's
Yeah.
the ovulation week is
Yeah.
what you're is your
Yeah.
fertile
That's
days.
when I'm always like,
Yeah, I was like, yeah, you're a slip and slide down there whenever your body is ready to conceive and be impregnated is when you're like slip and slide down there. And usually during your fertile phase, you don't have to have sex like every single day, because sperm stays alive in you for like 48 to 72 hours, depending on the health of the semen. So usually when we were trying, we would try at least every other day or every 2 days.
Yeah, that's what they say to do, is every other day.
Yeah, and try not to stress about it, because when you stress about it, it affects your hormones and stuff like that, and you'll just miss your window doing that. So I remember when we did it, he was getting over being sick. So I basically just jumped on and be like, "This is our last chance to have
You
this."
want this, baby?
Yeah, to
Shut up and take it.
have
I'm
this
just kidding.
kid before the end of next year. So I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So I was just kind of like,
I was thinking of Ali Wong, where she's just like,
I just give him a hand job.
yeah, just give him a hand job, and then when he's ready, I just hop on.
I mean, that's one way.
She's like, we were just so tired of trying to the point where I'm just doing this. And then when he says that he's ready,
"Yep,
hop on.
Yeah.
hey, that works too, man." It doesn't have to be like passionate or anything. As long as you're wet down there and he's ready, do it.
She'd be like, I'm laying on my back with my legs up like this.
She'd be like, whatever sound noise she made. I don't remember what she made.
Yeah,
funny.
it does help that right after he
Ejaculates.
ejaculates inside you is for you to lay on your back and kind of put your pillow underneath the small part of your back there, and kind of just have your knees up to your chest,
Yes.
you know, because that helps kind of drip all that good semen down to your cervix, and that way the semen has more direction to get into and find that egg. So yeah, at least that's my experience with it. And it worked both times. So, and then again, this is for like, the average, somewhat normal cycle.
That's why I was like, for
Yeah.
me, it's like, I'm kind of scared now because I don't know. Because it's been so long since I've gone to a gyno. Or like, I don't even know how, now that I'm 31, and last time I've gone, I was like, what, 26?
Oh, you need to go.
You need to go.
Yeah, and like, I don't even know, like, if my eggs are even good.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's fine.
You're
Like,
still
I don't
having
know.
you're still having a period, so your eggs
Yeah,
are
that's what
still
I told her
working.
that.
right, but then
She's
like my
regular.
periods have been like
wonky.
And I'm like, what the hell's going
I
on?
would go.
And I'm like, I just think that I'm pretty sure it's stress induced, but I'm like, what the hell's
Honestly,
going on?
from what they say on Natural Cycles, I'm looking at the app. They said they have a question here. It says, how much should I bleed during my period? I think it says most women lose between 20 to 90 milliliters of blood during their period, which equates to between 1 to 5 tablespoons. So some of us will lose more blood than this, and some will bleed less.
1 to 5 tablespoons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, between 1 to 5 tablespoons.
That's the middle norm, I think.
That's just the middle norm of what you would be bleeding in for during your.
Because I'm going to say,
No.
I'm not on my birth control. I bleed more than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Well, they
is
said
not
that as
true.
long as you don't
Mhm.
have to change your pad,
Right.
more than, what is it? If it doesn't fill up within the hour, you have to change it, or it's like completely soaked, you're okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but they
everybody's
say,
different.
yeah, but they say remember that everyone is different, and you may lose different amounts of
Yeah.
blood from your one cycle to the next. But do speak to your doctor if you are concerned.
Yeah, because sometimes with me, I'm like, one cycle, I'll be like really, really light, and I'm like, that's gonna hurt next month because it's gonna come really heavy next month, and usually that's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's how I am too. Even though I'm on birth control, I know that if I'm late on taking the pills, especially towards my last week of pills, I end up being a little heavier because I've kind of missed, or my hormones are like late and like kind of out of whack. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's
yeah. Because after the end of my luteal phase, and I know I'm in like the week of when my period's supposed to start, and like I can feel it down there when I know she's about to release the blood and everything. And so like every time I go to the bathroom, I'm like, wipe. I look. I'm like,
like,
nope.
It's like, where is
And I
it?
feel like it's a little wet down there than normal. I go to the bathroom, wipe, look, just to see if I've seen any like speck. Cause like,
Yeah.
I know I'm supposed to start. Cause for me, my period doesn't start till like maybe midweek.
Oh, while you're on your period?
Yeah, when
Yeah.
it's supposed to be my period week. So I don't start till like at midweek, and then it ends by like Sunday. So mine, I think average. They said average period a menstruation period is usually 3 to 7 days, depending on how your flow is.
Have you guys ever had those moments where like you genuinely did not know you're gonna start your period and it starts, and you're kind of like, oh,
Well, when I was irregular, yes, I had that.
yeah,
I had that when
you
I was
had-
telling you guys.
yeah, like you had like no symptoms of like
Nothing.
PMS, nothing.
Yeah,
And you're
which
kinda just
they say
like,
that
oh.
it's sometimes it could be very minor or like little to no
Yeah.
symptoms.
Yep.
That
Oh,
just-
that's women's bodies.
That
We're
just
wonky.
means you're gonna feel it in the next phase, the next cycle. Because your body's gonna be like, I didn't deliver everything out this last month, so I'm
here's
gonna
extra.
use everything else. Man, I hated that
Yeah,
because I noticed, my last period wasn't as like heavy, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna feel that later.
Yep, ladies, know your body.
Yep. So they do have apps for that. Melissa sometimes do say that Apple does have an app for that. If you guys use that app to track, or you guys can use other apps.
Yeah.
There is Natural Cycle. It helps you, I think, with your birth control as well. Believe that's per the app, the website. So, yeah. So I'm on birth control because I had irregular periods. So with me taking birth control, it's easier for me to track my cycle at least. And luckily for my app, it tells me what phase I'm in. And then sometimes when I enter symptoms that I have, it will tell me headaches or bloating is very common during this phase. And so it'll tell me this. So I'm like, oh, okay. So no need to like freak out if this isn't happening. But
Oh, yeah. No, I'm on birth
Yep.
control because I don't want no more kids.
Yeah.
So, it works for
I'm
whatever
surprised
reason.
you don't have. Oh, that's right. You can't.
I can't. My body does. My body rejects IUDs.
What about is it Nexplanon?
I don't want that.
Is that the one that's on
I've
the
seen
arm?
people
arm.
where you can see it on them.
Yeah, and I'm like,
I've seen people they'll just go eat and then they show you, and I'm just like,
oh, that's so gross.
because I've seen people showing up like, your arm.
I would just recommend doing the pill anyway because those kind of things, our bodies, me personally, I think our bodies are not meant to have foreign objects in them, so it will like mesh together with your body. So I'm like, oh, and it gets stuck. Do you want that? Nah.
Yeah, that's how my body was with when I tried an IUD. It did not like it because it pushed it out.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, so my body doesn't like it, so that's why I'm on the pill.
It's like when I was talking to my boyfriend, I was like, in your past relationships, did you have girls who had like the IUD thing inside? And I was like, can you guys actually feel it when you guys do it? He's like, yes.
I think what they're feeling is the string.
Yeah.
The string
'Cause
that
I'm like, isn't it inside your cervix?
yeah, it's in above above their cervix.
It's above the cervix.
Yeah.
So it's
It sits right above the cervix, and the strings dangle out of it for you to check every month to make sure it's still there.
Yeah. Because he's like, yes, I've had a girl have it. And he's like, yes, you can feel it.
Kind of like, because there's it's a UV ring,
Nuva ring?
ring. Yeah, and it's just like a rubber band thingy.
And you just stick it up there.
Stick it up there. And
I'm
it just
scared.
holds up there like that. And I'm like, is it not going to like...
So what if it's like a bowl and you kind of just...
Yeah.
Well, it's a ring, and it's not like it doesn't work like a condom. It actually has hormones in it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, does it not like
Fall
come
out?
out? Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure how it works.
Like, how does that work?
So those of you who have tried
Yeah.
Nuva ring, let us know.
Or like,
Because
yeah, same like with the menstrual cup. Like, how does that not come out of you? Or like it tips.
Oh, there's some girls who said that they got stuck and they had to have their boyfriend come help take it out.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm like, I don't understand
the
that.
menstrual cups,
It
Yeah.
reminds me of that TikTok of that one that one nurse who's like in the ER and he has these he has this couple, he's like, the girlfriend's like, I don't feel well, and so he's like, yeah, okay, are you pregnant? He's like, no, I shouldn't be, I'm using the ring?
the
Nuva
Nuva ring.
The Nuva ring. And then it's like, and then they're like, okay, so is it in there? He's like, yeah, I'm wearing it right now. He's like, what? He's like, that's not where it's supposed to go. He's like, oh, where's it supposed to go?
Inside.
He's like, oh, because my boyfriend was also wearing one too. And I'm just like, I don't even know what this item is, but I'm pretty sure that's not where it's supposed to go.
Okay.
Like, ma'am, who is your doctor?
Yes. Who is your doctor?
Either Shirley went to the doctor once, and then that was it.
Wow.
But yeah. But
Damn.
Alrighty then. Yeah.
well, that ends my episode about the menstruation cycle. Hopefully, everyone learned something new today. Because I did. Because I didn't know there were
Show did.
that many phases of the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So men, just be prepared that you will probably have 4 different women per month.
Mm-hmm.
So treat her with care, especially on the luteal phase, because that's where she probably feels ugly and don't want to do shit,
And fat. Mm-hmm. And ugly.
and probably be crying over some small thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where she needs the most loving. But yep. Well, that ends like I said, my episode. All right, you guys have a good day.
We'll see you next time.
Trying to see. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Jesus.